is y'all's Q. This is Truth Be Told, where all the truth is being told about our 20-somethings. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about dating. One of the favorite quotes I have to go with that is basically, what was it? Never let a fool kiss you, and never let a kiss fool you. You feel me? So I feel like that was pretty metaphorical. Yeah. But so basically, going back to dating and everything, I just want to ask these ladies, you already know, Stephanie over here in the cut. And then Tony, but Nia now.
People gonna be like, which one is she? Does she have is she bipolar? What's the problem? Multiple personality? What did she say?
I would like to ask y'all ladies, what's y'all perfect date? Like, what do you want?
First of all, can I just say I'm scared of this episode? This episode is terrifying me.
It's not toxic.
Not giving you anxiety.
It's giving me anxiety.
It's not toxic.
So your question is, what is my idea of a perfect date?
Yes.
My idea of a perfect date would have to be something fun. Like, I want to see how spontaneous this person is. So,
give me just an example, though. Like, just one example.
Like, it could be going to the gun range.
Okay.
It could be us doing, like, Six Flags. Like, I'm a big kid on the inside, you know? So I don't want to just sit down and do
Six
dinner.
Flags is a nice date, though.
Yeah, like, I want to see you. I want to see your personality come out.
Okay.
And I want to see how it's like, do you do the El Toro, like, as one of the biggest rides in the world? Like, are you a King Dakar kind of guy? Like,
you would go on those.
Oh, El Toro all the way, King Dakar, no. But I would want some. But I would want
same thing.
But I would want someone that's like, yo, we getting on the King Dakar.
It's wild. It's both wild.
Yeah,
but the drops are different.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but my whole thing is, I just want to see how spontaneous you are. How like, you know, how dangerous can this go?
I got you, Stephanie.
I agree, 100%. Like, I want to have fun on my first date. I want to really get to know who you are. Again, see how spontaneous you are. Really get to know, like, your personality.
All right, so what y'all expect from the dude then on that date?
On the first date?
Yeah, like, are you looking for him to do anything specific besides showing his personality?
But wait, I want you to say what your idea of a first date is.
I mean, there's a...
Cause you be trying to skip over. It ain't tricking if you got it, okay? That's how this man gets it up.
Do not. I do not. I mean, for me, a perfect date, I mean, I'm setting up the date most of the time anyway. Mm-hmm. So wait, is the question like if it's set up for me or just in general, like me setting
Give us
it
both.
up?
What is not even what is your idea? It doesn't matter how you got to the date.
First off, I don't care if the girl sets it up. Like, I'm perfectly fine with setting it up because I like to take initiative in those situations. I mean, taking her out to a nice restaurant, like somewhere like I feel she's never been to before. Like the ambiance has to be there. You know, I just want her to feel special for the night or in general. But you know, like it's all about her for the night. Good food. I mean, like y'all said, like Six Flags a fun date. That's cool. But I really be thinking that's like when you get to know them already, like third, fourth date. Like, I'm not just taking anybody to Six Flags.
No, because that's exclusive.
But why not? Yeah, why not?
Because I have to know you. I don't know. I don't even have a real reason. I don't know. I just feel like you get to know someone more conversational-wise, like, in that date setting. Like, because you already know at that point, like, you already like, for me at least, like, when I'm taking Six Flags, like, we already... You know me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have fun with you because I know it's going to be fun.
Okay.
I don't want to go to, like me, I'm not trying to go to Six Flags with you and just trying to find out if you're fun. Because, like, for me at least, because one, you like going on roller coasters. You feel me? If I'm going out with a girl, she don't even like going on roller coasters. She probably thought we just going to be chilling, going around Six Flags. And because I go around and meet that girl because the woman that I meet is, yeah. But I mean, yeah, so I mean, take her out to a nice date, probably walk around the city.
So question, do you think that this generation is like missing that?
To a certain extent. But to a certain extent. I mean, because I think also like women, especially now in this generation, like they know what they want. More, I would say, because in past generations, like they settled, like they felt that they need that, or that they feel comfortable in that setting. But now, you know, we got the city girls, everything. You feel me? We got mulatto.
That definitely influences.
You know what I mean? We got Megan Thee Stallion. Like, no, don't settle. Like, get the nigga that you want. Mm-hmm. So,
But at the same time, to that point, I also feel like it's put in some unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
On the guys, on what females would expect from the guys, right? Because a lot of females are automatically expecting, oh, take me on the show. First date, Jamaica.
That's tough.
That's tough, right?
You
know, and it's like,
but I mean, it's different levels to this though. Cause like, if I am having money, like party, you feel me? Like taking a girl, I'm probably flying you out to Paris. Honestly, I'm that dude. Like, I'm trying to set an ambiance. Like, I'm taking you on a date to a nice place because that's what I could afford. But if I know I could afford to take you to Bali, and I'm trying to just blow your mind, you feel me? And I know you're gonna stay around. That's how you plant the seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to plant seeds, but sometimes I don't want it to be fertile and grow.
That's how you know.
Do you think that this generation is like missing creativity when it comes to dates? Because everybody can get flued out. Like, all you gotta do is get shorty name, date, birthday, and that's it. She's getting flown out. Like,
do I feel? I mean, we also gotta like mention not everyone is getting flew out. So if you get
I've never gotten flown out.
Exactly. So she's saying everyone's getting flew out. I know you did. I don't.
But if anybody want to fly me out,
you feel? But like, they be lacking creativity to it because we come from a generation that we didn't really need dates to get what we wanted out of the situation.
It's the thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
It's people lacking that. It's people lacking just taking the time out of their day to be like, okay, let me plan this out. Let me actually think about what the next person will be interested in.
Do you feel chivalry is dead then?
I don't think chivalry is dead. I think people keep interpreting chivalry for what they want it to be for themselves, right? And not the other person. Like, to me, chivalry is all about the other person. It's not about if you wanted to hold the door for shorty. Like, it's not like, do I feel like it today? No, it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is going to make her feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I also think women have a type of chivalry that we should have for guys too. Like, there should be things that you do for the guy just as like,
I think that goes back to, remember first episode, you made the point of your 20s being your selfish year.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our generation right now feel like, if you're not doing it for me, then I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to take that first initiative to do it for you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Or even if you do it for me, it's not always, like, the energy is never always reciprocated.
Yeah.
All right, so clearly, some of us got flew out. And someone is about to fly you out. So, like...
Speaking into existence. Yes, I'm about to get flew out.
I'm assuming that was one of your best dating experiences then.
Left me by myself. Just want to throw that out there. Left me by myself.
So, wait. She said one of. So, what was the other if flying out was just something calm and casual?
It was nice. Top tier.
It was top tier.
Especially because it was very spontaneous and in the moment it wasn't something I was planned, you know, and it was mentioned in conversation and it obviously just showed me that he was like listening and being attentive and thoughtful. But in the other sense, like other dating experiences that I've had that have been really good for me, it's just been a matter of the person that I went on the date with. You know, like that person I was
that person made it better.
Yeah, like I was really just able to enjoy their time. You know, like we could have went to dinner, which is something very common and regular, but I still enjoyed it because the conversation that we had, or whatever, whoever's energy I was around.
So what about you, Nia?
What was the question? I was hot.
What's your best dating experience?
My best dating experience, truth be told, but for real, truth be told, like I've never really been on like a date. Like no dude has ever really taken the time, in my opinion, to like give me the date that I deserve.
Okay, like, so what do you expect then? Like, what do you want him to do? What is that date that you...
I'm simple. Like, it's like people always think that I need this big, lavish thing for some strange reason. Like, all the guys that I've dated always think that I need more than what I'm even asking. Like, I'm asking for something intimate, but yet, like I said, spontaneous. Like, you know, like, even if it's a picnic somewhere, right? Even if we go out to Jersey.
So you want effort
and just fun, right? Like I don't want stiffness. Like don't try so hard.
It's like timid.
Yeah. Or don't be like sorry, I couldn't take you to Ruth Chris, so I'm just gonna get you this picnic. Like no, like if you didn't have the bread for the Ruth Chris, like then just make the picnic everything that it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to know that you didn't have like that's none of my business. Just do whatever ambiance you think I deserve. And if it's well thought out and planned and the caring is there, then I love it. But if it's thrown together just because you didn't have it, then you could have just saved that. We could have just watched a movie and called it a day.
That's a fact. I mean, for me personally, I don't have a best dating experience. I more so just had like a very traumatic worst dating experience. I don't know if y'all want to hear that story.
Yeah, I do.
But
because I don't even know what it is.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. Basically, what was it? So I took this girl I just met her. She's from Brooklyn, and we go to this rooftop place, and like before the date, like when we was talking for like 2 weeks, I was like, oh, you live in Brooklyn, I live in the Bronx, like, and she smokes, so I was like, oh, like I don't know what we could do in the city. This is pre New York being legal of smoking. So I was like, yeah, I don't know where we could smoke, And I was like, do you want to get a telly? But I was like, kind of a test, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, yeah, I like to smoke and everything. I was like, okay, bet she might be with it. Might. I don't assume. Just anyways. So we go, so we eat. The food was good. I took her to like Italy, and then we got like snacks and some wine. We brought her to the hotel, and this girl was just like, she was just like adding more stuff like what she wanted. I feel like she thought I was making more money than I was making.
Like what she was saying certain things to you?
Like she's picking out like certain wines and like foods, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be broke, but I just met you.
Yeah.
Like, and I took you, because I brought up the telly vibe, and it was a nice hotel. She was like, oh, this nigga, like, okay.
But
like,
was it wrong for her to assume
no,
that?
it
If
wasn't
that's what you
wrong.
was rolling out?
It wasn't
Okay.
wrong. It wasn't wrong at all. But,
Okay.
all right, so y'all ever ignore red flags? Like, I know myself, I ignore red flags.
Definitely.
I know you ignore red flags.
Wow.
Shots fired. Shots fired. We went beat the
And I
clip
said,
just
don't do
now.
that.
We done beat the clip.
Nah, she ignored red flags
Well,
too. but,
since
like,
you
yes,
put me
yes.
on blast like that, yes, I have ignored red flags because I like to see how red the flag can get. Okay?
Right?
I like to
So
see
horrible.
it get.
What?
You
So
know,
bad.
I like
don't
to see
do
how
it.
red it
Ladies,
get.
don't do it. Not even just ladies.
How
In
red the
general,
flag
don't
can get
do
is
it.
crazy.
Because sometimes I get a little orange, sometimes it's an orange flag first. Then it's
different shades of red.
So y'all
Different
be
shades
seeing,
of
it's because
red.
y'all be seeing the potential, right? Because I know with me, I be ignoring
Yeah.
red flags because,
It's-
like, I'm assuming
I
that
think-
this is just for this time, and you're gonna get better. You want to mold them sometimes, like in a sense. 'cause
Yeah.
You want.
I think it's a matter of how that person comes off when you first start talking to them. Because a lot of times people portray one thing that they're really not, and then later months into like talking to them, you see the real them.
Yeah.
But it also has to do with us like making up these whole scenarios in our head.
Assuming.
Yeah. And instead of being realistic with the situation and seeing the person for who they truly are, when they first approach you or when you first see that first red flag.
So what's advice that you would give then, like for red flag?
Well, first, let me like dig deeper into what you're saying though, because that is true. It's like, I think too with red flags, it's like, I know for me, like, I be thinking that, oh, this is just how you're acting in this situation.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do this again.
But then
You know what
they
I'm
do it
saying?
again, though.
Like how sometimes you get mad at stuff like really, really mad, but like you haven't gotten mad like that in a minute. You get what I'm saying? Like I be thinking of stuff like that, like, oh, you were acting a complete fool, but it's not gonna always like it was just that time,
But then what happens when they keep doing it and doing it? You just be thinking like it's just this time again. Like,
keep doing.
You have to approach it.
Yeah, you have to approach it, and then we
How
can
to
go
handle the
on.
approach
We
as
can have a
well,
whole
though.
segment on like red flags, but I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing is like how much of like how many red flags are there,
So
right?
what's-
Because I think that's the thing too. Like it could be one really big red flag, but if there's multiple little red flags, then it's like.
It don't bother you.
You know what I'm saying?
But you don't think the little things are sometimes bigger than the big things?
They add up.
They
add
add
up.
up. They
It
do
depends
add
on
up.
how repetitive
They
it
add
is.
up.
It
Yeah.
depends on how willing that person is to check the red flags. If we're having if we're dating and I'm telling you this is the red flag, XYZ is the next red flag. If you're not willing to change it, then that's on me
Toodaloo.
to.
And it is on you.
It's toodaloo. It's really.
But it's really
toodaloo.
not Toodaloo, clearly though.
Not toodaloo. Toodaloo.
So like, so what's,
Bye bye. Bye bye.
so So what's dating advice? What's dating advice that you would give the viewers then, like when they see a red flag? Like, what are you doing the next time a nigga you talking to it shows you a red flag?
One is I'm automatically naming it. Like,
Okay.
I don't name the red flags. I process stuff by myself in relationships
You
way
bottle
too
it up.
much.
You bottle it
Like,
up.
I don't even want to say bottle it, but it's literally processed. Like, I'm literally trying to connect what you did with how I felt and why, like,
And then
all
it's a
those
matter
different
of,
things.
I wouldn't do that, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, how could you be doing
Yeah.
that? But again,
Everybody's
all in our head.
yeah, and everybody's
different.
different. Like, but my biggest piece of advice is if you see it, name it, regardless of what it is, how big or small that flag is, and then also you want to watch for traits. Like, you want to look at this person underneath a microscope. And I hate to say that, but it's not like you want to nitpick every little thing that they do,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like we get into that age where like we could really be having a family in the next couple years.
So
We
you
could really
want-
be doing this.
So you want him to be perfect? Like
no,
you're perfect.
don't do that. Don't
You said
do that.
nitpick. You said microscope. Like you.
That
said
means
micro-
observe. That does not mean that I want a perfect
So what
guy.
do you
That
like
nobody's perfect.
I think what
So
she might be trying to say, because I agree. But I also think that you just have to keep it in the back of your head. So yes, first address the situation, and that'll kind of help you determine whatever happens next.
Mhm.
But also keep it in the back of your head so that you can know what to look out for next time. And if you do come into account with another red flag, then you gotta sit with yourself, self-reflect, and figure out how
Internalize.
you
And
wanna
one more thing,
handle
because
it.
you're helping me now. Boundaries.
Yeah.
What are your boundaries?
Yeah.
Because you'll know when the red flag is small and it's microscopic to the point where it's like, all right, so so can like grow out of that. Not even potential, but it's like, all right, come on, grow up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
it's maturity.
So,
But if you have those boundaries for yourself, like if this doesn't happen, then I'm out. The first time that happens, you got to stand on that.
Mhm.
but are you letting them know your boundaries?
Yes,
Alfred?
you have to. You
and
have
if
to.
they
yeah.
disrespect
If
that,
you disrespect
then
it, you have to go.
I got you.
And I should go too.
You should.
Because I didn't take in regard of what you...
Mm-hmm.
Toodles. You know?
Toodles. So basically, you talking to someone then, right? Do you care about how sexually experienced they are then? Like they tell you, do you even want to hear that?
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Me
You
too,
good.
just
You good.
now. That's heavy.
I was like,
Nah, but like, be real. I mean, okay. So, do you even ask to do this? Because I know for me, listen. You calm down. You calm. I know for me, I'll just say for me, I don't ask women because one, that's not my business. You feel me? Two, I truly don't care. At the end of the day, like I feel like the more experience you have, the better it's gonna be. At the end of the day, as
That's
long as
not
you
true.
clean. I assume that, and I shouldn't be assuming.
yeah.
But in my case, though, with the women that I've dealt with, the more experience they had, it was better. So it was better. Niggas is totally different, like
Yeah.
you know. But so, do you care about that? Because I like me a sexually liberated woman personally.
I don't care because I grew up in a culture where it was like we would be in like after school and dudes would be like I had 40 shorties,
Yeah, they
30s.
chatting.
And
They're
granted,
chatting.
they're
They're
chatting.
chatting.
And granted, they're chatting.
Yeah.
We know that now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But back in the day, it was like, what? Really?
I'm saying,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was in
You look
fifth
like the
grade.
man.
Bro, I was in 5th grade. This nigga, I'll never forget his name. Nigga named Rupert. Anyways, I'm not
Name
even-
calling.
Yo, I'm not even about to talk. Anyways, this nigga came up to me and was like, yo, I just opened it up and just, I was
okay.
just like, yo, bro, I know her. Like, and I know you're chatting.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was chatting that, but I was just like,
But that's what
damn.
I'm saying. At that, but let me answer
I
your
got
question
you.
fully, right? So when you grow up in a culture like that, and then you really get to college, and people are like, "Look, this is my number," and you're like, "It's sad. It's not how it should be." I personally am on a different track right now, so I'm
Mhm.
not. Sex is not something that I'm automatically going into the relationship like I need it at this time frame.
Mhm.
But when you meet guys and they say they have these outlandish numbers, it's just like.
So what's the most outlandish number you heard then?
I really don't remember. I don't ask dudes those types of questions.
Yeah.
So, you
'Cause I
never,
don't-
so have you
But
never
I will
like, a dude
say-
never told you like a number that you was like,
I mean, friends, but anybody that I've
so you talking
dated.
about friends.
I mean, if it's anybody that I've dated, I mean, it's come up in conversation, but it's not a make or break factor for me. 'Cause this is before me. Who am I to judge what you did?
Just making sure. 'cause,
yeah. Who am I to judge you on that? I mean, you can't judge me for the things that I've done.
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't.
I will say,
What?
depending on the number, It's gonna
What's the
kind
number?
of it's.
What's the?
Now be careful.
Be careful.
I know,
Be
right?
careful.
Because you got to tie in the time factor and how old we are and
Just
all
say
of
the.
that.
Please just say the number. Just say the number, because.
If all right, at our age, if you're telling me like 50,
Okay. At our age. So at
I'm
what
a
age
raise
is
an
55?
eyebrow. Somewhere a little older, maybe in your 30s,
Now,
like mid 30s, late
I have
30s.
a.
But I'm only saying that it's raising an eyebrow because now I'm questioning, like, are you a sex addict? Like,
Do I need to get you out?
That's what I want to know.
Do
Like,
we need to talk?
I'm not going to say I've never asked, but I've never, like, gone into, that's never been a first question for me, like, in a conversation with someone. It's just come up in
You probably
conversation.
with a nigga with over 50 bodies. Niggas get 50 bodies easily.
Right, that's true. But to you, what I was gonna say was like we had this conversation the other day when we was in the car, and I was saying, like, with women's body count, with women and their body count, right? And I said, I feel like in today's generation, like if I told a dude my body count, they would think I'm lying.
Oh yeah, shit is crazy.
Yes.
They would think that I'm lying, and I would have to, like,
That's
it's like,
I
true.
know you though. I didn't think you was lying.
but you
But
see
you
what
would have to-
you would have to know.
get to know that
Hold on. I
person.
just want to say on right. I was kind of disappointed. I was disappointed because I said I want you out there more,
Yeah. You
and I told you as well. Cause you gotta.
Wait.
You gotta.
Wait.
You gotta.
I don't think it was that.
gotta-
It wasn't
You want
that
me?
clean,
Are you my
y'all.
pimp? What do you mean? You
It
want
wasn't
me
that
out there
clean.
more?
He didn't
If
say it
you're
that
offering,
night.
if you're willing to give 20%, I'm not obliged.
You said it
But-
a little more crazy than that. It was a little.
It was. I'm not gonna get
It
that
wasn't.
crazy. All right, I'm not gonna. Yeah. All right. Calm down. But
Yo.
anyways, though, so like, okay, so they fucking a lot of women, and let's say you are a woman that probably likes all of that, but y'all have to worry about your pH balance, right?
Yes, pH
So-
balance is a very serious thing.
It's funny. The girl that I was talking to, her was always like, and I'm like, come on, like you making it seem like it's not. That's the reason, but we know what's
We
going
want to.
on.
Well, let's put this out there as well, right? Whoever that young queen is, right?
Oh yeah,
You can't, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes women also don't understand what
I
their
already
bodies
know.
are going through,
'Cause
and it can be
niggas-
their first time experiencing.
Yeah,
that,
and
you
niggas need to
know,
wash their hands too. Like
wash
niggas need to
everything,
wash their
hands,
yeah.
all that stuff.
Lotion
Yeah,
too
private
sets it off. I
parts,
know.
Yeah.
Scents, like all of that can throw it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
Easily.
you. So yeah, y'all was talking about boundaries and everything. So like, for people in their 20s, what do you feel like is the best dating advice, especially when you have boundaries and things like that?
I would say, one, be open to dating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't sit here and feel like you have to be married or committed to one person or your high school sweetheart or whoever the person may be. Two, if you set boundaries for yourself, make sure you stand on them and don't allow anybody else to knock them down. And three, just, again, have fun with it. Like, just have fun with it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to get everything perfect or to have the perfect somebody. Like, people are going to come your way. And during this time, you also have to learn your likes and your dislikes and whoever it is that you're dating.
Yeah, know yourself.
Know the value of what you're asking for from that person and what you can provide for that person, right? Like, don't expect too much when you are not at the level of the expectation.
Oh, so okay, hold on. So what's too much? Like, so you're saying you don't deserve that seat at the table. If
You
have
may
to
not
earn it.
deserve it yet. It's
Okay.
levels. And like that's real talk, but nobody ever really discusses that. It's levels to getting flued out sometimes. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like if a dude makes good money and is really like an upstanding dude, he's not just flying out regular chicks on the
I got
daily.
you.
Like
I got
Shorty
you.
might have to really earn it. Same for girl. Like
Hold on. You know Kevin Samuels? You
yes.
sound exactly like this nigga right now.
I mean, I'm not like
I'm just
we
saying.
know Kevin. I'm not saying like, you know, how much you weigh. He
Oh,
don't want you
shit.
if you that
Yeah,
size.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying that.
yeah.
But I'm saying that there's levels to it. And you
Yeah.
have to also understand that you can't require more than what you're willing to give to that person.
Yeah, I respect
And that's
that.
just
totally.
that's just dating in general. Like
Yeah.
if we're only starting at Cantina, then we're starting at Cantina. If we're starting at Red Rooster, then we're starting at Red Rooster. But like you can't come in the jump and be like, he only took me here. So calm down. Like, just give it a minute. So I would say patience and just knowing the value of what you're really asking for. If you deserve it, I don't want to say deserve very fluidly, but if you deserve it, and if you're really, like, can you really accept it for what it is?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Always, like I mentioned, the thing I said earlier, always check your gut too. Always trust your gut. But always remember that some people's guts aren't good. So see if you have good guts, truthfully.
Yeah.
And make sure, like, you know, I'm not about to say that. But
make sure you ain't bubbly in the gut. Make sure.
That's not even what I was gonna say. But I mean, yeah, so like as we already discussed this whole episode, set your boundaries. You know, key takeaway, set your boundaries. Know what to expect and what you should expect from the people that you're dating. Never settle. You feel me? And always like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link should be right here. And yes, safe up. We explained that. But yeah.